Thank you, Victor. So IEEE is hosting a hackathon called Comet Hack, and the deadline to apply is today. So go ahead, and if you're interested for registration, use your phone to sign up with a QR code, and we look forward to having you. And if you're interested, if you're an EE or a CE major, please join us on our Discord or check out our website for more tech events like this one or other events, and help us or let us know if you want to join. And here's the QR code if you want to sign up for that as well. And then lastly, if you want to get professional development, if some of you are in Dr. Kogan's class for EE 1202, IEEE usually does this thing where we have a sign-in QR code. We'll let you sign into the QR code we'll wait a couple minutes on this one, because this one is like a form that you have to fill out. So we'll let y'all take care of that real quick. Once again, if you have any issues or if we went a bit too fast and you can catch the links, let us know in the comment section, and or you could scroll back on the video and hit pause on the video and then scan the QR code real quick, and that'll allow you to go to the link. We can move on to the next slide. Victor, please. All right. And Caitlin, did you want to talk about SWE match? No problem. It sounds really fun, actually. So if you guys are interested, make sure to check them out. And yeah, looking forward to it. All right, next slide. All right, today we're going to be making an HTML About Me page. The purpose of this is if you want to go to career fair, show off a little bit about yourself to recruiters. This is one of the greatest ways, or one of the best ways you can stand out amongst all the other people that are standing in line trying to talk to the recruiter. For the HTML website or About Me web page, it's showing yourself off a little bit. It's going to be a little headshot. You talk about your skills. You talk about ways to contact you. Victor, if you want to click on the link to show an example to everybody. Now, this is one of our tech directors' About Me pages that he likes to show off to his recruiters. His name is Neil Rathod. This is a bit more advanced. We use JavaScript or Python or PHP in order to present stuff like this. It's visually pleasing and very interesting, makes you stand out with recruiters of any company, and it allows them to just make you stand out. So that's one of the stuff that we're going to be working on today. HTML is a bit more basic to that, but it's a great user-friendly platform to start off with. And we can go to the next slide. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Modern Language, and it's a standard basic markup language to create a document that can be displayed on the web. HTML is largely used to create web pages, and they're displayed on World Wide Web everywhere. So anywhere you basically go to has a little bit of HTML to it. HTML is a platform that is used to teach beginners the fundamentals of website development, and this can also spark your interest for create more websites. You could become potentially a front-end or a back-end developer. These are terms that you guys have loosely heard. Front-end decides or decorates the website a little bit, and back-end is behind the scenes and creates the functionality of the website. And then we can go on to the next slide. This can be the applications part. This can be used to further your coding knowledge. In the industry, having knowledge of something like Java, Python, or JavaScript or PHP is very gold, essentially. People look out for people with these types of skills, so it's very helpful. It's a great application to use. This is also a great way for, like I said before, for you guys to stand out in recruiters. So create your About Me page. Not everybody has this. They just hand their resume, talk to the recruiter a little bit. You create this and talk to the recruiter. It shows them that you have application of the skill that you might want, and helps you stand out, like I said before. This also helps you create a bit more money on the side if you guys are interested. You can help create websites for other people, other companies, small businesses, and it's fun, in my opinion. It's a great way to learn, and it's a great skill to have. So let's go on to the next slide. And I'll hand it off over to Victor to teach y'all a little bit about what we're going to do today.
we have to link a couple of things since we are going to also be using CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And that's basically what decorates an HTML website, and they go very hand in hand with each other. So if you use HTML, you're almost always going to use CSS. So for this, we're going to use a link tag, and then we're going to tell it what kind of file. Someone has a microphone. I can hear myself, so if they could mute themselves, that would be nice. So basically, we're going to use a link tag, and then we're going to tell what kind of file we're linking it to. So for this one, it's going to be a style sheet since it is a cascading style sheet type of file. So then we have to reference it to tell it what file we're going to be using. So for this one, I'm going to be using a style CSS file. And that's going to be a file that we create later on in this workshop. And that's it for that tag. There's also a file that I need for y'all to download for this workshop. I will be posting this in the SWE chat. Is there?
I think you might not be able to type in the chat here because y'all are not in the team, but feel free to send it in our group chat and I'll make sure to get it out to the participants. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't think about that earlier.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, what this file does is we're going to be using certain icons that we can use to link to our social media pages like LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So recruiters have a way to contact you or see what's going on in your life if they're interested and want to contact you, basically. And the reason we need this file is so we can link it and use the icons that are in those files. So we're going to be using another link tag, and this is also going to be a style sheet. And we will reference it to wherever you have this file stored. And for me, I have it stored in my downloads. So for me, I put in the full path where this file is located. And this is how you'd write it for Mac. In Windows, I think it's very similar. So yeah, you just have to find wherever this file is. It should be in your downloads. And you go into this file. Give me a second. So you can access the all.css. The all.css file, which contains the icons we're going to be using. After you have linked that, the only thing we have left is to title our website. And for me, I'm just going to title it personal website. And I will close this also. And that's all there's going to be in the head tag. And what's next is our body tag. Our body tag also needs to be closed. So you close it. It's good it's good coding habit in HTML to close your tags immediately after you open them, and then you can write whatever you need in between them. So you're not scrambling to look where you've messed up when it's just you forgot a simple closing tag. Some exceptions to some tags that don't need closing tags are meta and link, since those two just don't need them. So yeah, in our body tag, what we're going to have, what we're going to include is an image, some text, and we're going to be linking to some icons also. So first things first, we're going to actually do a div tag, and we're doing this so we can decorate our website. And basically what a div tag is, it kind of sections off specific parts of your code so you can decorate specific sections with code you have written in a CSS file. So here, all this really does is it sections off our this chunk of code, and we can decorate this however we want. And in the div tag, we are going to first include our image. So we do that with an img tag, and you can choose any picture you have of yourself. The picture I'm most likely going to use is this one I have right here. So this picture of myself is what I'm currently going to be using. And oh, my bad if it was hard to read before. So I'm going to tell the computer what picture I want to use, and how I do that is using an img tag, and then I tell it where the source is, which is src. So the source is going to be the file called website pfp.png, because that's what my profile picture is here. So I tell it that this is the picture I want to use, and then we have an alt tag, which is typically where you put the alternate picture you would like to show if for some reason this first source doesn't work out. For right now, I'm going to leave it blank because I don't have another picture. So yeah. And then next, I'm going to give it a class. And what a class does is a class essentially allows you to decorate this specific thing, which I'll explain more in the style sheets, because most of this code won't make sense until I explain the style sheets portion. But for the most part, it is just the class, div, and link right here is what's dealing with the style sheets. So this right here basically just shows us our profile picture. After that, we are going to use an h1 tag, and this is a header tag, and what it does is it shows, it makes the characters just larger and bolder, since it's the biggest thing you'd want to see. And in this tag, I am going to be putting my name, since that is the most important part of our bio page, obviously. And I'm going to close that tag. Afterwards, I'm going to use another header tag. This one is going to be h5, and basically the larger the number goes, the smaller and less bold the characters become. And in this one, I'm just going to put what my major is. I'm an electrical engineering major, so I'll put electrical engineering in mine, and then I'll close that tag. Lastly, I am going to put a p tag, which stands for paragraph, and this is just going to show the characters as they normally would be if you were typing in here. It's the smallest font, the smallest character size, and least bold. So yeah. And in here, I'm just going to put a bio about myself. Let's see. I had one saved actually, but in here you just basically put about me. You'd put things that would stand out to recruiters. So you could put any officer positions you've had, what you do project-wise, organizations you're a part of, and much more. And then you close that with a /p tag. Oh, my bad. Yeah, and for right now, this is where I'm going to leave for the HTML portion. So after this, I'm just going to save it. I'm going to put it as my personal website. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. So right now, if I open it, it's just going to be a text file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the extension by renaming it and change the txt into HTML. And it's going to ask me if I want to change the document type, and I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to show you what the website is like before Cascading style sheets or the CSS file is added in. And essentially what it looks like this. It's a basic website, not much to it. So now we're going to be working on the style sheet portion. So I'm going to open up a new text file, if it will let me. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I'm opening up a new text file, and in here I will be writing what will be decorating our website. So essentially what Cascading Style Sheets is, it's a bunch of small chunks of code, and what it does is they're just little chunks of code that you can add in to specific tags in here, and it will decorate that specific thing. So for this first part, I am going to be writing a chunk of code called body, and they're held in brackets. And in here, I'm going to be using a few things called margin, margin padding. I'll be adding a background as well as the background size. And basically what margin and padding does is they basically control the margin and then the vertical margin as well of our website, which is padding. Padding covers the vertical portion. Margin is like the width left and right. And we will be adding a background. So for me, I will be using this JPEG picture I have right here for my background. You can get any of these by looking up online website background. That's what I did to get this one. So inside where we have URL, we're going to be using parentheses. And inside here, I'm just going to put my file name. And I will tell it to not repeat. And that's it for the background. And lastly, I want to tell it how big I want it to be. So I'll be telling the background size to be the entire thing. So I want it to cover the whole website. And that's basically it for the body portion. Next, we're going to write a dot box. And what this is going to do is it's going to reorganize everything we have in here. So it's more centered and doesn't look like it's all to the left. So how we do that is we want to give it a specific width. And I'm going to tell it to be 450 px wide. And px is just the unit we use in CSS to tell it how wide or how tall we want something to be. Next, I'm going to give a background color to it. So we use RGBA to tell what colors we want to use. So in here, I'm just going to be telling it to have a little bit of a black background whenever I load up the website. So it has like a little box for it. Afterwards, I'm going to adjust the padding to be 40 px, which changes where it stands in the website vertically. Then I want to align the text, and I want to say, and I want to tell the, I want the text to be in the center, so I will tell it to be in the center. Next, I will let the margin be corrected automatically with auto, and I will also correct the margin from the top, which I will make it 5%. And most of this is you test it out to figure out how you want your website to look. It's not anything too specific. It's something you kind of just do trial and error to until it's appealing to you. And next, I'm going to change the color of the text, and I'm going to make it white. And I will also be using a specific font family. I will be using Century Gothic, and the backup will be sans serif in case we can't use Century Gothic. And that's pretty much it for the box tag. I'll save this file for right now, and then I will show y'all what it looks like now that I've included this. So after doing that, you can see my website has changed so much more. So that's basically the point of cascading style sheets. This isn't the complete website, but I'm just showing you what CSS can do. And I'm going to change this back to a text file so I can continue to edit it. But essentially, this is what cascading style sheet does for websites, and it's very important to use with HTML. Next, I will be changing the image we have so it's not so square. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it more circular, so I'm going to be using a border radius. And I'm going to make it 50%. Next, I am going to tell it the width and the height of the picture. And so for this one, if you want to make it taller or wider, you increase this number right here, right before px. If I wanted to make it wider, I'd make it 300, 400, whatever I want. If I want to make it taller, I just do that to height. And after doing that, it's going to make my profile picture circular, and that's all it does. Next, we're going to be changing the text and how the text looks in our header. So this is going to be changing what my name looks like. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the font size, fix up the letter spacing, and that's really all, since the letters or the characters are fine how they are. I just want to make it look prettier and make it larger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 40 px in size, and then I'm going to fix the letter spacing so there's a little more spacing between them, and I'm going to do 4px for that. And I'm going to add a font weight to it. So that's pretty much all there is for changing the name. Next, I'm going to be changing what's in the H5 tag, or how it looks. And I'm going to be doing essentially the same thing here. So I'm going to make the font size just a little smaller than my name. Then I'm going to be changing the letter spacing too. And I'll do 3px for this. And I will also add the font weight for it again. And now we're going to be changing our paragraph block. And in this paragraph block, all I want to do is make the text be aligned. So I'll be using text align, and then I'll just justify it, and that'll make it left justified, I believe. And I'll be going back to this HTML one, and I'll be adding the last thing. Well, first, let me show you, after writing some of that, how the website changes. So currently, this is what the website looks like. And after I refresh the page, it changed the font, changed the character size, essentially. So, and it also changed my picture to be more circular. And the last portion I'm going to be adding in, we'll be linking our social media. So I will have to change that in my personal website file. And in here, what I'm going to add in is bullet points, which sounds weird, but that's how you actually link in the icons for social medias when you see it on a website. So I will do a UL tag, which stands for unlisted bullet points. And I will close this tag. And in here, I will be doing an LI tag, which creates the bullet point. And I will also be using an A tag, which stands for anchor. And I will reference it to whatever social media I have. So if I wanted to link it to my LinkedIn, I'd put that in here. I'd put the link in right here. So this is my LinkedIn page. So if you wanted to do yours, you'd probably have to type, just copy and paste the link in here. I'm only going to do it for this first one so you can see what it looks like. And after this, I'll write target and then underscore blank. And what this part of the code does is, instead of loading it in the current page you have open, it will open it up in a new tab. So people can still have your personal website open whenever they click on it. And in here, we are going to write the icon we want to use. So I'm going to be putting in a the icon for LinkedIn. So we'll be using an I tag, and then we're going to tell it the class, which we comes from the files we downloaded and linked into our head. So in here, we're just going to be writing exactly what I have in the quotation marks. and then I'm going to close the I tag. I will then also close the A tag, and I will close the LI tag. And after this, you can just copy and paste everything else. And the next couple of icons I'm going to be adding in will be for Facebook and Instagram. So the only thing you're going to change is the class for this second I tag. And what we're going to put in here is FA Facebook square. And all you're going to do is close the I tag again, close the A tag, and the LI tag. And the last icon I'm going to add in will be the Instagram square. And that's pretty much it for the HTML code. And the last part I'm going to do, and the style file will be decorating the icons so they can look how they need to be. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to be writing the code for the unlisted bullet points tag. And in here, I'm just going to write that the margin is going to be 0 and the padding is going to be 0. Next, we'll be writing code for box li, which is going to change whatever is in the li tags. And I'm just going to make the color white. I'm going to add no text decoration. I'm going to change the font size so that it appears larger. And I'll make it 60 px. And I'll write the transition. So basically, whenever you hover over something and it turns darker, that's essentially what this does. And it's gonna just basically, it's just gonna make it darker whenever you hover over it. Next, we're going to be writing the code to change whatever is in our A tags. And, oh, my bad. This is supposed to be ending right here. What's supposed to be in the li tag is we're going to change the display, and we're going to make it incline block. We're going to make the margin 6px, and we're going to change the list style to none. So now we have the code written for this, and the last thing we're going to write is the code for whenever you hover over the icons. And essentially all we're going to do is we're going to change the color so that it's a little darker, and we're just going to make it this. So it will be color colon and then pound B9 B9 B9, and that just changes the color whenever we hover over it. So now that I have all my code written, I'm going to rename my file, and then change it to a CSS file for my style. And then I will change this back to an HTML file. And whenever I refresh the page now, it's going to have all of my icons right here. If I click on my LinkedIn, it takes me directly to it. And yeah, so this is basically a small bio page about you that you can show to recruiters, and you'd want to change this portion to show off any positions you've had, projects you've worked on, and everything else. And that's all I have for y'all tonight.
All right. If there's any questions, we'll be waiting here to review the chat, but thank y'all for joining us today. We really appreciate this collaboration workshop. With
Very nice looking website. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Does anybody in here have any questions about anything we did tonight?
All right. If that's it, then thank you guys. Let us know if you have any more questions. But we really look forward to working with SWE again, and look forward to future collaboration workshops. So enjoy your semester. Good luck on your finals, and take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us.
And a bunch of people are saying thank you in the chat too.
No
I know you can't see it, but take my word for it.
I'll believe it.